Hi, my friends. Just trying to make sure everything was correct. Good morning, Judy and Stephanie and Angie and Bonnie. Hi, Marty. Hi, Kelly. Thank you all for sharing. Good morning, Adrian. So I'm going to show you what we're going to be working with today. I got a couple layouts started. We're going to use the Wiggle Worm stamp set, and we're going to use the, what are these called? Wiggly Bugs dies. So you can buy these together as a bundle. You'll save 10%. So I thought I'd show you just a couple things. I'm not going to like do a full unboxing, but I'll show you a couple things that I also got on my recent pre-order, and I also forgot things as well. So big surprise. I have been working with this bundle. This is the Friend Like You. I believe it's got a real actual name, but darn it, I can't think of it. Where is that other paper? Here it is. It's Friend Like You and Friendly Silhouettes. So I've been doing some stuff with this lately. I'm going to just show you one thing that I did, just to give you like a little sneak peek, a couple things. So this one, don't judge, because I think this looks absolutely horrible, but the more I look at it, it's not too bad. What I did was I cut 2 of these pieces out. So you can see I cut both pieces out of here. And then what I did was I used one as like a template, and I laid it down. I messed up my son, that's why I don't like it. But I laid it down back here. And then I took my sponge dauber with ink and I sponged it. So you can see like I have this layer of cattails, and then I stamped the I guess these are just like weeds. Isn't that funny? I don't know what they are. Beach grasses. Who knows? But I stamped them behind, and then I cut these 2 out. So I had these 2 cut out. And then one of them I just sponged so it would be darker. And then I kind of laid them together. But I should have done my sun first before I did the stamping. And I did all the stamping, and then I went back and masked the sun. So it wasn't as great as I thought it would be. But I thought it would kind of still look cool. Plus I didn't cut it to the right size, so it's like all kind of all jumbled up. But it's got a couple really cool, it's got some really nice stuff in here too. I did make another card, which I don't want to share with you yet because I might use it for blog hop, I'm not sure. But what you can do is you can put the cattails onto these little grasses, and then you can put these flowers onto these grasses here, and then you have the palm trees you can build, and there's like a little water scene. And I actually did make a card and a project out of this for my blog hop that I take part in on Thursday, which is the Stampin' Friends blog hop. So if you follow me on Rachthestamper, you'll automatically see it on Thursday. But it's really cute. Completely different color scheme. So, cue the phone ringing. Completely different color scheme. So you will like that on Thursday. It's really, really cute. So that's one thing that I got. Another thing I got is the Dino Days. And then the Dino Dies, which coordinate really well. And this also has some designer series paper, which I'm going to share with you for the card we'll make today. And it also has these, if you buy the suite, you get these little shapes, which are adorable. As you can see, I got a lot of stuff that hopefully the rainbow stamper will be able to use with me at some point. So hold on, I'm waiting for my cell phone to ring, and that way I can hit end, and then I can chat with you guys. Hold on one second. Okay, they're not calling. I also got this. So I have to make my UPS man a card. I thought this was adorably cute. This will also be great for sending thank you cards to my customers. Thank you for your order. I think this is really cute. I usually decorate the front of the envelope, so I thought that would be fun. Christian also really, really, really wanted me to get this stamp set because he thought the baby animals were just too cute. So I got this one, so we'll do this one at some point as well. This is great for kids. If you have kids that want to color stuff in, would be nice, or also obviously for babies. But I think this would be great too for Mother's or Father's Day. Would be really nice cards. Grandparents' Day, I think, would be great. You could make a grandparent card with this. Another bundle that I got was the Peacock Suite. So this is a stamp set. It's photopolymer, so it'll be really easy to line up, which is pretty cool. And then it also has a coordinating die. As you can see, I've been a little busy. I haven't even opened some of these yet. But this has a coordinating die, so you can cut out the peacock, you can cut out a detailed peacock, just the feather. seen a lot of really pretty examples with this. And then it also comes with an embossing folder if you buy the suite, and then these really pretty rhinestones. They coordinate with the colors. And the other thing it comes with are foil paper and some embossed paper, which I don't want to get all those out just because they're so big. And you know how I am over here. Things are going to start falling down soon. But I want to show you one other thing, and this is like one that I know I told you guys about that was I'm so excited to use because I call myself a bookworm because I love reading and I love the library. And I think this is just the cutest stamp set. So adorably cute. So I can't wait to use this one too. And I was thinking actually of doing like a make and take at the library, maybe to see if I could get some new stampers interested, and this would be the perfect stamp set to use. So if anybody's watching this, a demonstrator, this would be a good one to use if you did like a little free, it could even be just like a bookmark that you made at the library. So really, really cute. Let me put this on the floor. And okay, I'll show you. This is the other one that I made. I wasn't going to share this, but I'll show you anyway. So this one actually is that one with the silhouettes. So I just cut out, and that's not a smudge. Those are actually dragonflies that I stamped off, and they're so light you can barely see them. But I pieced these in with 2 different colors. I cut them at different times, and then I used shimmery white to cut this out from, as I thought it would be really pretty. And then this one I ended up using crumb cake, and then I spritzed it with, I think I used the champagne. No, I used the copper. I had used copper in alcohol, and then I went over and sponged it with some crumb cake, or it might have been Sahara sand. And then I added the water, and then I actually ended up just embossing lightly with clear embossing paste, the Happy Day you can see there. So I thought that was cute. Kind of looks like an islandy kind of thing. So a lot of fun. This is a lot of fun to work with, and you don't have to do them in one color. You just have to make sure that if you are going to piece them together, that you keep all your stuff together, so you know, like you would do it all at the same time. You couldn't cut this up and do it later because these little pieces are a little tiny, but they're pretty easy to put in. So, hey, Avenel, nice to see you. Hi, Pam. Thank you. PTA, that's another good idea, Donna. That's a really good idea. All right, so I have a few ideas to share with you for Wiggle Worm. I was actually making a couple cards while we were waiting because I have an idea of what I want to do, but I also thought I could make we could probably make like 3 similar style cards, and then we're going to make 2 that are different. So you can also bring in, which this is completely unrelated, but I thought it was kind of neat anyway because the color and the print. So this is actually the dinosaur paper. I believe it's called Dino Roar. Yeah, Dino Roar DSP, which again, I got this for Christian to be able to use. So obviously it has dinosaurs, but this side you could totally use for the bugs. And then also this one. And I do have a card that I am creating for a blog hop for Saturday. So 2 blog hops this week. One is on Thursday and one is on Saturday. So I don't want to show you too much because I have one of the cards I'm making is revolved around this, but I thought this was really easy to use with the bugs. So, and then there's a lot of really fun prints in here, really cool. You can use the dies to cut all these out. So I did that, if you guys remember when you use the dies to cut out the DSP and pop it up, I did a card with that. I'll share with you guys pretty soon. And it's got a lot of different colors too. So there's even colors for girls. We have green and white, and then it's, I think, Flirty Flamingo and Melon Mambo. That's on the back side of this. So there's a lot of really great colors, and then it's got like a boy dinosaur color page. So this paper is really, really versatile. You could use it for a lot of stuff. It's definitely very, it can go gender neutral. It can go either way. It's got a lot of fun stuff in it. So we're going to use that today for part of our card. And then the other thing I wanted to share before I forgot is I saw this on someone's card that they created, and I thought, oh my gosh, we have a new punch that somehow I missed. No, we don't have a new punch actually. This is just a square of paper. So this one is 1 1/4 square, and then you just round the edges with the trio punch. So I'm sure you guys have seen this before, but just in case you haven't. So I've cut out a whole bunch of squares. So we could either layer 3 squares across with the bugs, so like 3 in a row like that. Or, I'll show you how to do this. You just take 2 sides if you want to make it like this. It's kind of like that, whatever that one we had a while ago was that had the coordinating punch with it. I don't remember what shape it was. It was like mosaic. It kind of reminds me of that a little bit. But what you do is you take your square, and it is kind of a tiny square. That's just because I cut it small. And you push it in. You do want to make sure it goes all the way inside. And you just press the one, and then you turn it around to the other one. So I kind of usually will sit it and like let gravity take it in. And then I'll just make sure I have it pressed. And there you go. So you have like this little square. It's a squoval. It's a squoval die. So you could use these as like diamonds, or you could turn them on the side and do like little squares and line them up. So that's what we're going to do for one of our layouts today. So just in case you didn't see that, I thought that was a really neat idea. So if you don't have this, this is the corner rounding punch answer, but it's also pretty neat because the way it's shaped, unlike the corner rounder that we had, you can actually do like these little curvy, I don't know, squovels. That's what I'm going to stick with. So I have my little squovels. So we're going to do 3 of those, and we'll do 3 squares. This one's not as neat. We'll do 3 squares too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp these first, and then I'll show you a couple other ideas I have for the other card. So I'm just going to stamp a bug. I'll stamp like 2 of the same and then a different bug, so the odd man out. And then I'll do the same for this. Also, we have a worm, which is totally cute. And I'll show you the other things that I have planned for that as well. So let me grab a block that somehow manages. And thank you all for joining me. I know I totally forgot to like post this sooner than last night at 10 o'clock. So I think Tuesdays is probably going to be my new day unless something comes up and I have to switch to Thursdays. So through the summer, I think I'll be Tuesdays. See, the legs aren't inking, so I'll do these 2 the same, and I'm kind of just shooting for center. It's not exact. There's that. Let me move these, whoopsie, over. And yes, it is like a 60s shape, isn't it? I know, I love it. It's so cool. I love all things like 60s. I just listen to the 60s all the time. I don't know if that one's going to fit on there. Do you guys listen to Sirius XM? It's kind of funny because apparently Flash Phelps lives not too far from me in Abingdon, which is probably like maybe 5 minutes from here. And one day I was on my way to getting a massage, and I called and won the City of the Day because it was based on, loosely on, if you guys follow baseball, Mike Mussina. It was President Reagan's birthplace. I think it was called Moose Neck, Illinois. I think that sounds right. And so I was like talking to him on the phone, and I was saying something about driving. And then I said where I was. He was like, "Oh, I live in Abingdon. Isn't that hilarious?" So it was kind of funny, just what a small world it is. But as I digress, I love listening to the 60s and 70s. That's like some of my favorite music. Any other 60s or 70s? No more talking of drugs and hiding bodies, just lizard. Oh my gosh, what happened here? I don't even know where did this conversation go? All right, and we'll do the praying mantis in the middle of this one. Just never know what's going to happen here when you're listening to this show, huh? Whoever's following along, if you're following this after the live, you're going to be like, what in the world is going on? So if you want to know what in the world is going on, you need to join us live, and then you'll know what's going on. All right, so these bugs are fun too because they have all these little inside pieces that you can add to them. So what I'm going to do is I have a couple different colors picked out. So I have one for the green. So let's see if we can fit these on here the way I kind of envision them to be on here. So we'll do that one for one. And this one I really want to do with the worm. So I'm going to pick a different one. I'm just going to set this up on here for now just so I can kind of eyeball what I want to do. We'll go with that. And if these are a little big, you can always trim them down. You could make them 1-inch squares if you think they're a little bit small. The reason I actually chose this layout is because apparently right now There's a blog, if you guys don't follow, it's called the Global Design Project, GDP, and they do a challenge every month. So I happened to see that their challenge was like 3 things in a row. So I was like, oh, when I'm finished with this blog post, I can add this to it and I'll enter it and see. We'll see if we can win the blog post with this card. You just never know. You never know. So I'm going to go with the hearts. So this one has little hearts that you could put on it. Or it also has, is this the same one? Hold on. These little, or it has these little like wavy rivet things. And then the praying mantis has these little lines that don't look like they're going to line up, but they actually do line up really well. So I'm going to do those. And then you can do the same thing with this one. You have these little arrows that you can use on this bug. Or it also has these cute little dots. So either one. So we'll pick one. And then the bug, the flying bug. I don't know if this is supposed to be a bee or a moth or whatever, but it has these little dots that you can fill in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill these in. And I'm going to kind of try to like slightly stick with coordinating colors. And except for this one, I'm not going to use this one. We're going to make a worm card with that one. I'll explain that one in a second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pick up my stamp, and with him, I'm going to go with something darker. So I'm going to go with shaded spruce. So I'm going to do both of these bugs. Actually, I'm going to do all 3 of them in shaded spruce. So I'm just inking the lines. It's like a chevron pattern. Okay, there's one. And then I'll do the dots on the other guy so you can see what they look like. And we'll just do a little bit of color so you can see. We have chevrons and dots, so they have a lot of choices to use for this, which is good. Especially if you decide that you're going to let your child use these. Lots of choices of what to stamp. Probably is a little bit difficult to line up, but might need your help. But you never know. You might have a professional stamper. Some kids line things better. I mean, you know, you guys have seen Christian. I think he lines stuff up better than I do sometimes. So there's that one. This one I got a little goopy when I stamped it, but that's okay. So there's those 3. I'm going to keep this out because I'm going to ink this up a little bit. I'm going to make it a little bit lighter. I'm going to grab one other color. So I'm going to do Pear Pizzazz and a little bit of shaded spruce. And then for these guys, I'm going to go with, so I want to get rid of this color because I clearly am not going to use this. That way I know what I'm doing. How about if we go with, just for the heck of it, let's do Blackberry Bliss. Might be a little bit dark, but I'm going to stamp it off once first. So you have Blackberry Bliss. And then I'm going to do the one with the little, wavy lines. And then for the middle one, I'm going to do the praying mantis. I'll do him in a green. So there's that. Okay, and hello from Idaho. Good morning. Thanks for joining. And then I'm going to go with Granny Apple Green for the mantis. Rainbow Stamper Guy is super skilled. He'll be very happy to know you said that, Janet. All right, let's see if I can line this up. That's pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to keep this one out as well, color-wise. All right, so I'm going to move back real quick. I'm going to bring these 3 back. And we're going to just fill in a little bit of color with these, and then we'll put these on and add a little something and mount them. So I'm going to just go with the Pear Pizzazz first. I have a blender pen that obviously has a lot of ink in it because I did not clean it out very well. And I was dipping directly into the ink pad, which sometimes makes it a little bit stainier. And then I just ran into that ink. All right, so we have Pear Pizzazz. So I'm going to just do a little bit on their head. And like a little bit on the wings. Try to make the wings a little bit lighter. There's one. You can always spray these too with some shimmer paint. that you dilute into your spritzer. I'm going to fill this one in a little bit better. You can also cut these out. These do have coordinating dies that will trim them out, and I'll show you that in a little bit because I have something for that as well. So there's that one, and I'm going to add just a little bit of shaded spruce, and I mean a little bit because this is a very potent color. Just going to add like a little bit under here, a little bit at the butt, just for like a little bit of shading. All right, and then same with this one. I think this has a combination of those inks now in the well. Just like that. All right, that's good. So I'll leave that alone. So this will be kind of our green theme card. And then I wanted to do Granny Apple on the praying mantis. Oh man. I did not do a good job of cleaning these out when I was done. All right, let's move these over. So I'm kind of more so gonna, oh, well, that didn't work at all. Now he's got gray legs. This is no longer a praying mantis. Now it's a stick bug. Okay. Just give him just a teeny bit of shading because I don't want to too much. So that's pretty good there. And then we have our two little love bugs. You know, I'm hoping he is going to be making some appearances this summer because, you know, we're home all week. So maybe we can kind of do like some Friday stamping I can get him involved in. We'll see how that goes. I have all this cool stuff for him to use, so hopefully he'll be inclined to make some cards. We'll have to see how that goes. Hoping so. I'm kind of just very lightly shading the edges of those. I'm kind of more so aimed towards the head. Same thing. Very light, like darker. I kind of did as if I would do a stamping blend. So I did dark at the top. And then kind of under the eyes and under the mouth dark. Then I did really dark down here on the belly. And then just kind of came in and just brought this light down just a little bit. So if you can see that. They're kind of as if you did them with the blends, which you could do them with the blends. But I tried to make them so they were like have a little bit more of a shaded look. Hopefully they look buggy enough. We'll see. All right, so there's that. So we ended up using these four. Blackberry Bliss, Granny Apple Green, Shaded Spruce, Pear Pizzazz. You probably could pick a brighter one besides Pear Pizzazz if you wanted to, but you maybe could even add in a little bit of Call Me Clover. Wouldn't be so bad. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the green one first. So he goes with them. So I'll do this here. So what I have is one of those little papers. I had them cut. Here they are. I have this little strip that I thought we could kind of just add back here. And I'm obviously going to have to trim this off a little bit. So we just put a little bit of Fast Fuse. Whoopsie. Yes, I still have a lot of Fast Fuse refills for those of you wondering. I love Fast Fuse. Once I got to use it correctly, I really, really liked it. So then all I'm going to do is just flip this over and just trim this off. By the way, I don't know if you guys follow Lisa from Crafter Solutions. I think they're working on some new stuff. Now this might be a little bit close, so I think I might still go ahead and trim this off just a little bit. I'm going to try to keep it as straight as I can. I'm just going to trim just a hair from each one. So you might want to start with your squares instead of being 1 1/4. I think they will fit very nicely on 1 inch. Just do them in 1 inch squares. That way you can see a little bit more of your paper back there. So anyway, it's worth paying attention to Crafter Solutions if you haven't followed them yet. They make the Tipsy, which I did see my winner filled out my form. So I will pick another winner because I have a second one to give away, even though I really don't want to, but I'll give it away anyway. So I have a second one. That one was just a little bit off. that I'm going to give away. So make sure if you haven't already, leave a comment. And I will draw a winner for a second Tipsy. And maybe I'll even give you away one that was live. This one was live. I know that sounds totally cheesy. I don't think that much of myself, trust me. If there was some reason, somehow I could auction something off and people would be like, Rachel used this in her video. Wouldn't that be something one day if I ever got to be that exciting? I'm being funny because I really don't think that much of myself, I swear. Yes, it is way stronger than snail. Yes, they do deliver to Canada, and if you send them a message on Facebook, I know the shipping on Etsy is insane, and I know that they have shipped to Canada because I've followed a couple conversations that Lisa has had with people. So if you send her a message on Facebook, I know she will work to get that sent out to you. So definitely worth asking. And while I'm here, before I go too far with this, I'm going to do one other thing. There's this really cute little line of grass. I'm just going to stamp this at the bottom. And I'm going to stamp it in Granny Apple Green, so it sticks with the color. So I'm going to add this to the bottom just to make it like look a little bit cute. So the next Jennifer McGuire, oh, you heard it here first. If Donna said it, it's going to be true. I could not imagine being the next Jennifer McGuire. I would pee my pants on a regular basis. Oh, look at that. Not even straight. Well, that's what happens. Grasses are straight, right? The next Jennifer, look, you threw me off. I'm stamping things crooked and everything now. Donna, I love it. That's hilarious. The next Jennifer McGuire. Oh, I'm going to be saying that all day long. Well, Donna said it, so it must be true. Okay, so there's that. How do you subscribe? You know what? There should be a button on the right, but maybe when it all got kind of rearranged, it's not there. So I will check, Jean. There should be a subscribe button. It usually is on the right-hand side of the blog, like on the sidebar. There's one. I'm putting the center one in first in hopes that I line this up correctly, but I could be terribly wrong. We'll see. That doesn't look so bad. It's a little bit off. I didn't press it down too hard, so I potentially could move it, but I think it's, yeah, that's just a little too flat on there. So I think I goofed that up a little bit, and probably this one could use just a hair of a trim. Just take this off a little bit. I will check into that. And if for some reason, of course I can't get this side because it's wrong. If for some reason I can't find it, I will make sure it's on there. But I should have a subscribe button. There we go. All right, so there's one. So all we have to do with this one is I'm going to just mount this onto something. How about if we do, just for the sake of contrast, because you still would have to put something on the inside, but I'm going to mount this onto black. So let me just cut a piece of cardstock. So if I do it this way, 4 1/4, and then I'll score it at 5 1/2, and this will be like one of those wonky size crossways cards. And then I'll put a sentiment on. Let me put this like this. I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do real quick? I'm going to write myself a little note on this piece of paper, so sometime I will see it. Check for subscribe button on blog. Okay, because if not, I'll forget. So I'm going to write myself a note there. So there, look how cool that looks with the contrast. Then all we have to do is add a little sentiment. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this on here like that. Obviously, you're going to need to put a little white panel on the inside. You can continue your little grass thing. Super cute. Now all I got to do is add a sentiment. So, how about you make my heart flutter? Isn't that adorable? I love being with you. You amaze me. I'm going to do you amaze me. You amaze me. Where is that one? That one's here. I happen to have a little strip. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to continue in the shaded spruce, just to bring like a little bit of that color back in, since we have a lot of different greens going on. Let's see. Okay, that looks pretty good. I did a good job there. So I'm gonna leave enough that I can flag it. I don't know if I'm gonna flag it or not. Now that I look at it, it's a little crooked. Let me try that again. Let me do this down the bottom. I got to tell you one thing. Speaking of Jennifer Maguire, I don't know how her and Christina Werner get things on those teeny tiny strips of paper, and they're always straight, because God help me, I cannot get something on a teeny strip and get it straight if my life depends on it. I am not even joking, guys. That is like my one fail in life. I am just not good at doing tiny strips, and it looks so cool, but dang it. Not my forte. So I'm going to hold this way. I'm going to cut into it like this. And then I'm going to nip it. Ah, that turned out cute. Okay, and just so happens, I did leave my foam strips over here from last week. So I think this little piece will fit perfectly. So I'm going to flip this over like so. Jennifer Maguire. Jennifer and Christina Werner, though, they amaze me. Let me just tell you, those girls are crazy talented, and I love watching them make stuff. Okay, so here's one card. Super easy, right? Really simple. We have that little piece of DSP in the background, so really fun. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you two things, because we're going to make one of these. So what I did was I just stamped bugs all over a piece of paper. I'm going to do a black one again, since I have a piece here. So we'll do a black background. And I just imagine that those must be ladybugs. So I went with it. I stamped them in, this is Poppy Parade. So this is kind of like my color scheme I went with today. Poppy Parade, Gorgeous Grape, Coastal Cabana, and Mango Melody, which might look a little weird, but when you see what I did with them, they'll be really cute. So I'll put this on black. I'm going to add this little piece on here. So this is card number 2. So I was trying to save a little time and like give you guys more for your money today. And I'm just going to add some Fast Fuse. Doing really good. It's only, my gosh, it's not even 10 o'clock yet. And I actually already finished a card. Oh, put it on backwards. Whoopsie. That was a close one. So I stamped this in like all different directions with the bug, and then I stamped one in black and I colored it in. You can see I actually did this one shimmer white. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it is shimmery. So I did this one shimmer white. I added in the little hearts. Again, I did it with Poppy Parade. So I have this here. So let's do Cute as a Bug, because that's cute. Because you could send this to like a little friend maybe that you have that you like to send stamped stuff to. So let me pull this one off. This one is super, I think this is a really versatile stamp set though. Got a lot of fun sayings. Cute as a bug. Do this over here. Oh, that's adorable. All we need are some like little bug embellishments. That's what they should have done. They should have really like amped up this suite with the bugs, since we haven't had a lot of bug stuff and like fun stuff like this for kids in a while, if you ask me anyway. And also I should have trimmed this down a little bit first, and I forgot. Let me see if I can cut this down just a wee bit without ruining it. 1, 2. That's not too bad. I'll trim the end off here. So what we'll do is we'll put this down just like that, and we'll put this little bug, pop them up. I'm going to put this one flat. Let's see if I can do this without wrecking my paper here. Okay. Cute as a bug. And then I'm going to put this one up with dimensionals. Here they are. So there are definitely coordinating dies. We just need a little bit of excitement with like some doodads, as I like to call them. I only cut this one, and I actually pre-cut this one. So I will show you. It has all 4 of the bugs actually have it. And then there's also a leaf. Cute. Simple. Look how easy. Just stamp it, right? Stamped. Simple. Very easy. Okay. So that's the same one that I wanted to do with the worm card. So I'm going to do the worm. And I did this with Cajun Craze because I thought that really, really coordinated well with the worm. Here's a matter of fact. This one is for something different, so I'm going to stamp this again. But this is the worm stamped in black, and then I did the markings. I stamped it directly with Cajun Craze, and then I went in and I used this is why this was so stained. I used my blender pen to fill in the color. So we'll do that same thing again. So let me grab the worm here. And so I'm kind of just going to do the same thing. This is what I did when I did the ladybug card. So I just inked up the worm, kind of went all different directions. Not rotating enough because I'm like, two of these look way familiar. And that one I didn't ink hard enough. And I like having the little like pieces because that's how you can tell if it's like you made your own DSP, right? Because you have these little end parts that are hanging off the card, little random heads and butts. Yeah, put one here. I don't know, that might be too much. Yep, look at that, messed up the head. Guess what? That's probably going to be where my sentiment's going to have to go now. Okay, so then one other thing I did, I'm going to clean this off. Okay, I'm going to leave this out because I'm going to use that. Where is, should be good enough, my black. So I'm just going to ink him up in black. Okay. All right, and then he has these little worm markings. They just kind of look like little dots and dashes. So I did this in full strength Cajun Craze. Okay, so you just kind of, and I actually did this twice because the way I lined it up, I really wasn't happy with it. So I added another one, and it really didn't look bad. Let me stamp this one off first. There you go. So I did that one twice. So then we'll just give that like just a half a second to dry. And then instead of dipping, so when you're in Cajun Craze or really deep inks like this, sometimes you might want to be tempted to just use the pad, but man, I'm going to tell you what, it is really dark and is going to lead to some deep cleaning you're going to need to do with your blender pen. So just make a tiny puddle and just get the littlest bit out. And then I did this. I did the dot first, so it'll be really dark. And then I kind of just filled his head in a little bit lighter. Filled in like some shady spots, a little bit darker, like the back of him maybe. Under the mouth. And I kind of just brought just a little bit of the edge in from the color that we stamped. You can absolutely wait for this to be longer if you want to. Like wait for it to dry longer, but that's fine. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. And since I have so much stuff over here, I'm not going to bring the big shot out, but I'm going to show you again. You have this little grass pattern die. You have this leaf. Here's the worm. So I'm going to just cut him out real quick. So here's our worm, really adorable. Then I just need something else for his sentiment. So let's see, we have, oh, this is cute. I'm going to use one of these little squares. We could have even put this on here, as a matter of fact. It would have worked out even better, but that's okay. I'm going to do I Love You Wiggle Worm. And I'm going to stamp this actually in black. And then we'll round the edges of it, and then I will just go over it a little bit with the Cajun Craze just to keep the color in. All right, so there's that. Probably could have made it a little bit more centered, but that's okay. So I'm going to take my square piece again. So this is the corner rounding area. Kind of let gravity take it in. Just make sure you press it to this corner. And I'm going to turn it around, do the same thing. So I kind of just let it slide in. Make sure it's in there all the way. Like that. And then I'm just going to take my blender pen again and go around the edge. Like that. You guys know sometimes I get a little slippy with this, so I'm trying not to like slip, and I'll slide all the way across the thing I just finished. All right, so there, I'll leave that like that. Okay, close this one up. And what we'll do is we'll add him to this. I'm going to just use a little bit, this one's open, a little bit of liquid glue. Put him on here like that. And just give him a second and hold it. I'm trying to cover up that little whoopsie I made, but there's one over here too. Let's see. We could even change side direction. And what the heck, it's going to just have a head missing. That's fine. You know, I'm okay with it. No biggie. So now I'm going to actually pop this up. So I'm going to just grab a corner piece here of my dimensional. And grab this one. Here. Like that. And put one here on his head. And I'll put one down low. That's good. All right, so then I'm going to pull this off, and I think I'm going to just stick with the same thing again. I know I don't usually think I've used this much black, but we'll use a little bit of black. Oops. All right, hold on. Do my fingernail trick. Haven't done that in a while. You know what another good thing is too? Let me just share this with you real quick. If anybody has this really, really, really old Take Your Pick tool and has a really pointy metal tip, and it really works, of course it's not going to now, it really, the other day I did it, it works well with getting these off. Hold on. Look at that, whole thing off. Comes off pretty quickly. So mine actually has like a hook in it that I think it's actually defective. So it actually works really, really well though for that. All right, so there's that. I love you, wiggle worm. And then all I have to do, let me just grab one more piece of paper here. I'm going to go ahead and score this. I'm scoring at 4 1/4, and then I'm going to cut it in half at 5 1/2, and then I'll have 2. So I'm just going to put this one on like that. Just fold this, score this, and I still have, I'm a little crazy with my tape today. Don't mind me. So again, you're going to have to add a white panel to this, but really cute. I really like the black on there. The black contrast with that. Super duper fun. Okay. So you still use your, I use mine too. I use mine a lot actually. So let me move this here. I want to show you one other thing. Actually, we're going to put that other card together with the little squares instead of the little rounded ones. Put this here in case I decide to use that. And then I have one more thing I want to show you. So let me just grab. So we have Blackberry Bliss and green. Let's do, why not? I'll do one on Blackberry Bliss. I haven't used that color in a while. Excuse me. Let's see, do I have a piece already cut? Nope, of course not. All right, so I'm going to cut this. And you know, I don't know what this is going to look like. So I think I'm going to do this one opposite. I'm going to trim this down to 4 by 5 1/4. This is my Blackberry Bliss piece. And I think I'm going to put this onto some thick Whisper White. So let me see if I can grab that real quick. Vanilla. This is it. Let's see. Nope, that doesn't feel very thick. Here it is. Nope, that's shimmer. Here it is. So I have my thick Whisper White. So I'm going to put, that's not thick Whisper White, Rachel. What the heck are you doing? Oh, this must be thick Whisper White. Yeah. I am full on losing my marbles. So I'm going to just take this piece and I'm going to score it at 5.5. And then I'm going to cut it at 4 1/4. So this will be my base. So I have this will go on here, and then we'll put these, because if you're going to do these squares, like for instance, we could trim these down a little bit. So let me see if I can trim these without ruining them. Because if you're going to put the 3 squares across, oops, move these over. You're going to need to have a crosswise card to have them be 1 1/4. So I'm going to see if I can trim them down just a hair. So I'm going to trim these. Nope, you know what? It's going to mess it up. So I'm going to make them, yeah. So if you're going to do these, so these are 1.5 inches actually, is what I'm thinking. You could take a little bit from each side. And that way you can make this 1 1/4 inches. So these are going to just be rectangles instead of squares. So I'm going to make them 1 1/4 inches by taking off 1/8 of an inch from each side. And then I'm going to leave the height at 1 1/4 inches. I'm sorry, 1.5 inches. So there's 2. And let's see. There you go. Actually, that didn't work out too bad considering what could have happened. All right, so I will put, this still looks fun. Even though this is really, really bright, I'm still going to use this. And I'm actually going to put this down with liquid glue. That way I can wiggle it into place a little bit if I need to. So same thing again. We just have the strip going across the top. If you want to be super, whoopsie, sorry about that, guys. If you want to be super duper anal about whether or not this is straight, you can also grab your T-square ruler, which is why I tend to like to use the liquid glue, because then you can bring it down a little bit. When I made those thin blue line cards a while back, I used the T-square to make sure that I had the lines lined up really, really well. So sorry about all that shaking. So I'm going to put this here. Okay, I'm going to need to trim this little piece off, but I'm going to wait for the glue to dry. Then I'm going to put, you have 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to kind of eyeball where these are, like that. That looks pretty good. I'm going to, with the rest of my dimensionals, pop these up. So I just usually will take the end here and snip every 2. Do corner pieces if you want. I still think to myself that I used to throw these away when I got rid of the center pieces. What a ding-a-ling. Talk about wasting money there, huh? It was on your maybe list. You know, I only got this. I'm going to be honest with you. I only got this because I really thought Christian would like using it. And I was like, it was cute. Oops, I didn't cut that side. It was cute, but I wasn't kind of like, oh, I have to have it. And 100% honesty. The more I've played with this, the more I've liked it. It really is adorable, and it's got so many possibilities. And I think I really like the sentiments in it too. Come on. Oh, darn it. I took off my sticky part. Well, that's the one thing you gotta be careful with this. Because if it gets into your little sticky layer, then it wants to take that layer off too. So, nope, that's still sticky. We're good. It's kind of funny because the only thing it seems to be that when we're making cards, we're trying to make this less painful for the people that are watching. You make cards, because these dimensionals, if you were sitting here watching me do this at home, oh, it would be funny. It'd be a festival of cursing. Let's see. All right, I'm going to trim this off really quick just so I can make sure, because that whole thing's kind of thrown off my line a little bit. And then see. That looks pretty even. So I'm going to just give it a final push down. All right, and now we're going to put this onto this panel. So I'm going to try to make sure that this is clean. That's why I moved that out of the way. Put this down. I like it because even with that white background, it has a lot of color. So really, really cheery. And how about welcome? That's cute. It's got a lot of versatile stuff in it. That is for sure. So let me take this off and this off. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go back to the Blackberry Bliss and I'll stamp it. Stamp the welcome. Oh, I should have put this at the top. All right, welcome. Now I'm going to do something different for this one. So I'm going to make this, so this little strip, I don't know, we're going to see what it looks like. I was going to make it so this little strip is long, but what I was considering doing is putting the grass on it. So I'm going to do that in, I'm going to do it in Pear Pizzazz, so it's not like too bright. So let's see if I can line it up. I don't know. Put this at the bottom. You could certainly add this to the inside of the card as well. Since you have white, you have a lot to work with. Okay, so put it like that. And let me wipe this off. See what this looks like if we were to add this. That looks kind of cute. Probably should have done it before I, you know what, I'll just trim this with my trimmer. Because there's no way I'll be able to trim that without ruining it. So put this here. So that is 4. Now we're going crosswise. That's 5 1/4. Let's see. There you go. That looks adorable. That was a fun idea. Actually worked. Sometimes the fun ideas don't necessarily work. So put this down here. There you go. So there's one more card. Okay, so I have one last card to show you. Yeah, and you could totally do this on the envelope. That would look really cute. So clearly we already talked about the fact that we have all these little bugs, right? We use the dinosaur paper. But if you really wanted to make like your own designer series paper, then you could just pick a whole bunch of stamps. So here's what I did for this last one. I did this ahead of time, so it would kind of be already set up. But what I did was I stamped all the bugs in different colors, and again I stuck with these 4. So it's kind of 1, 2, 3. These are the original 4 that I picked. So I have Mango Melody, Coastal Cabana, Gorgeous Grape, and Poppy Parade. But I also added in black. So I did all their dots in black. And as you can see, a few of them turned out a little goopier than others just because I was being a little excessive when I was stamping, to put it nicely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing because I already have a piece here. I'm going to stick with the black. So I have a black piece of cardstock. We'll put our fun bug theme on. You could do this any way. You could rotate it, decide which way you want to do it. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to add a strip of black. You could also add a strip of one of these specific colors. Actually, you know what? What if we do it like this? We'll do it with a strip of this. This is crushed curry. So I know that's not really technically a color, but we'll put a strip of crushed curry, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put a strip of a greeting on it, and then we're going to add a bug. So, shout it out. We're going to do one more. Bring back the fast fuse. You know, they had so much trouble with the fast fuse refills, and I think it was just like completely a waste of money how many times they had to fix it, which, trust me, I understand that, but I do. I love fast fuse too. But this is my real favorite now. I love the liquid glue. It's so much easier to move and everything. So, pick a bug, and I'm going to cut out a bug. So the bugs we can cut out, I'll show you here one more time. We can cut out the worm, but the worm's not really on that one, but we can do it if you guys want to. We have these 4 down here, so I'll move these up so you can see. So we have the mantis. I'll say this is like a mothy firefly. We have a ladybug, and I'm guessing maybe this is a bee of sorts. So pick out a bug. We're going to stamp one of these guys. We're going to cut it out, add it to the front of this, and then we will be finished. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this to this first. And then we'll add our sentiment and we'll add our little bug. So really easy way to make your own DSP. If you don't have it, Mantis. That's all I got so far. I get one more and that's where I'm going. Mantis, Mantis. You're typing. Have some more white paper here. I'm going to make sure I have one. What are you out in the hallway huffing for? Rainbow Stamper. They want to know when you're going to make yours. Firefly and Winkastella. Oh, I like how you think there. You know what, Karen? That's a good question. Oh, I got 2 mantises. I promise. Adrian, I will make you a firefly. Specifically. I'll do one for the blog later. I promise you. I'm going to do the mantis just because it's going to be easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do them in green. I don't know, though. I agree with you. Some people didn't know how to use the fast fuse, so maybe that was more the problem. And there was like a huge learning curve that we just didn't really anticipate. I don't know. What's up? What are you doing? Fishing in the hallway? Rainbow Stamper, they want to know when you're going to make a video. When are you going to make a video? You don't know?
I don't know.
Oh, inquiring minds want to know. We've been doing a little bit of schoolwork. You're still thinking of ideas? Okay. He's still thinking of ideas. Here's my inside. I'm just going to add this, and I'm going to do it in just a darker green. I'm going to do it in shaded spruce. Rainbow Stamper, I think you would make some excellent cards with these bugs. The dinosaurs, right? You really liked the dinosaurs, didn't you? Yep. And those and the baby animals.
Yep.
Yes, he picked the baby, and I had to order the baby animals special just for him. So I'm going to take this, and I have my mantis. I'm going to just run this through the Big Shot. And it also has a really cool leaf cut out. So that you should see on my blog hop card. All right, so there's our mantis. I'm going to, just for the heck of it, because, you know, I can't leave well enough alone, I'm going to add just a little bit of Old Olive in here with my blender pen. Yeah, I have a place to... Oh, sure I'm glad I cleaned that one off. I don't know, man. I made this one so red, I might have to designate this my red blender pen. So I'm going to just add just a little bit of color in. A couple little spots. Oops. Daggone it. Alright, let me get a different one because I'd be super sad if I ruin this one. It sounds like there's a freight train behind me. There's so much huffing and puffing over here, guys. So much huffing and puffing. And I never realized 5-year-olds were so dramatic. Learn something new every day. This one's dramatic?
No, this one is hungry.
Oh, hungry. Well, there, that explains it. That explains it. Don't worry. Almost finished here. Okay, so I have my mantis cut out. Only other thing I need still is my sentiment. Try and see if I have a bigger piece of white to be able to use. Okay, buddy, that's enough. Go ahead and find something to do for a minute. Okay. I think you'll make it. So if this one measures an inch and it's just slightly less than a quarter, I'll make this 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to lay this on top of this. All right, so this piece has to make sure I trim this right. This is 4 inches, so I'm going to go ahead and trim this crushed curry piece down to 4 inches. And I'm going to make this one just slightly undercut it so it has a little bit of a layer. So we're going to be like that. Okay, just like that. And then we're going to add in our bug. All right, so what we're going to do is put this last piece together. Let me move these guys out of the way a little bit. Wish they had one that said, "Quit bugging me," or "You bug me." But I guess we'll have to stick with something. Little bug. Little bug. Welcome, little bug. You do I love being with you. We'll do that since it's yellow. We'll make a fun one. All right, so that is that. I'm gonna bring out my crushed curry, even though I know I did this in mango, but just so the color matches a little bit, I'm gonna bring this one out. Doesn't match with the Manus. Probably should have stuck with a different sentiment, but that's okay. We're sticking with it. So I'm going to put this together. And I'm going to just add my glue on here because since that's still a little bit wet. So I'm going to add my sentiment on. I'll tell you what. It's hard. Must be hard being 5, huh guys? It does everything for you. Don't have to do anything except breathe on your own. Yeah, I hear you back there, Huff and Puff.
Huff and Puff wants a snack bar.
Huff and Puff wants a snack bar. That's so cute right there. All right, all I gotta do is put this down, and me and Mr. Huff and Puff are gonna get on with our day. So there's your DIY DSP. You guys know how much I love making that. Let me fold this in half. Give that a good score. I'm going to put this down with some liquid glue so I can adjust it if necessary. And put that just like that. How cute is that? Very simple. Make your own DSP. And then you have all these other, let me move this out of the way so you guys can see all this fun stuff. These lovely cards. Aren't these adorable? You can do tone on tone, pop of black on a thick whisper white with a nice little strip of a base. How adorable are these cards? These turned out way better than what I had envisioned in my head, guys. I just want you all to know that because I really only had 2 ideas this morning when I got started, and look where we went with that. So just goes to show you sometimes. I know Gail, if you guys watch Gail, and I know a lot of you do, if you watch her, a lot of times she'll say she just plays with stuff, and that's how she gets ideas for things. And it really is 100% true. Sometimes just let yourself fool around with something, and it really makes things open up for you. So 5 cards we made. 5 simple cards. You can make them as easy or as complicated as you want. So all of this stuff is now live. You can get this all in my online store 24/7 at rachthestamper.stampinup.net. I promise I will look into the follow button on my blog. Make sure that it is working, and it should be clickable at the top, but if not, I will find it and see why it's not there and fix that for you guys. Also, remember I have a blog hop on Thursday. You can find me at rachthestamper.com. There's another blog hop on Saturday. It's actually going to start early. It usually starts at 10, but it's going to start at 9 a.m. on Saturday. Same thing, rachthestamper.com. I think that's about it. I will let you guys know if there's any other specials coming up. I haven't heard about the DSP sale yet, but if I find something out, as soon as I know, I will let you all know. I hope you have a wonderful week, and if I don't see you, you never know, I might show up again on Thursday, but if not, I will see you guys next Tuesday at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a wonderful week.